Have you ever felt like there's an invisible force controlling the world's wealth and power? A system that is running in the background of our daily lives. What if I told you that one of the greatest thinkers of the 20th century wrote a book exposing this very system, and it's more relevant today than ever? Welcome, everyone. Today, we're diving into a powerful and controversial little book called Grunch of Giants by the legendary Buckminster Fuller. Fuller wasn't just an inventor and architect. He was a futurist, a philosopher, and a system theorist. In this book, he uncovers what he calls the GRUNCH, an acronym for the Gross Universal Cash Heist. It's his term for the massive, invisible entities that he believed control global finance, resources, and politics. This isn't just a conspiracy theory. It's a deep look at how our world is structured, and understanding it can completely change your perspective on everything from your job to global events. So, grab a coffee, get comfortable, and let's pull back the curtain together. So, what exactly is this Grunch of Giants? Let's break down the core ideas. First, Fuller argues that the world is controlled not by governments, but by what he calls supranational, invisible, abstract legal entities, what we would call multinational corporations. These are the giants. Fuller says these entities have no national loyalty. Their only goal is to maximize profit. They operate beyond the laws of any single country, and their power comes from their control over global finance and technology. Think about it. A company can have its headquarters in one country, its manufacturing in another, its finances in a tax haven, and sell its products everywhere. Who really holds them accountable? The second key concept is the gross universal cash heist itself. Fuller explains that this isn't a single event, but an ongoing process. The giants use their control over money, what Fuller calls an abstract wealth accounting system, to accumulate real, physical wealth. Real wealth is our planet's resources, the metals, the energy, the land, and the life-sustaining systems. They use complex financial instruments, patents, and legal structures to essentially gain ownership of these resources. For example, by controlling the patents on vital technologies, they can dictate who gets to use them and at what price, effectively controlling entire industries. It's like a global game of Monopoly, but the stakes are our planet's future. Fuller's third big idea is both a warning and a source of hope. Technology. He saw that the same advanced technology the giants used to consolidate their power could also be the key to our liberation. He was a huge believer in what he called ephemeralization, the ability of technology to do more and more with less and less. Think about your smartphone. It has more computing power than the computers that sent humanity to the moon, yet it fits in your pocket. Fuller believed that technology, if used correctly, could create a world of abundance for everyone. It could solve scarcity, provide clean energy, and automate labor, freeing humanity to pursue higher purposes. The problem is, who controls this technology? The giants, who use it to increase their profits, or we, the people, who could use it to create a better world for all. The fourth powerful idea is the power of the individual. Fuller wasn't just pointing fingers. He was a huge advocate for individual initiative. He believed that a single, committed individual, what he called little man or individual, has the power to change the world. He famously said, "Never forget that you are one of a kind. Never forget that if there weren't any need for you and all your uniqueness to be on this earth, you wouldn't be here in the first place." He urged each of us to think for ourselves, to use our own minds and experiences to understand the world, and to contribute our unique talents to making things better. The giants might seem all-powerful, but they are ultimately made up of people, and their systems can be changed by the collective action of informed individuals. So, how does this play out in the real world? Let's look at a case study Fuller often talked about: the energy industry. In his time, the giants of the energy world were the big oil companies. They controlled the exploration, extraction, refining, and distribution of fossil fuels. This gave them immense geopolitical power. They could influence governments, start conflicts, and suppress alternative technologies that threatened their monopoly. Fuller saw this as a prime example of the grunch. They were taking a planetary resource, oil, formed over millions of years, and using it for private profit, while creating pollution and dependence. Now, think about what Fuller said about technology being the solution. He was a huge proponent of renewable energy sources like solar and wind, which occur income energies because they are constantly replenished by the sun. Unlike fossil fuels, which are capital energy we are spending down. For decades, the technology for renewables was either dismissed or actively suppressed. But what happened? Thanks to committed individual scientists, engineers, activists, and entrepreneurs, the technology kept improving. The cost of solar panels has plummeted over the last 40 years. This is ephemeralization in action, doing more with less. Today, renewable energy is a booming industry, challenging the dominance of the old energy giants. This shift didn't happen because the giants had a change of heart. It happened because individuals in smaller groups pushed for it, proving that Fuller's vision of technology empowering the little man is possible. It's a long fight, but it shows that these giant structures are not invincible. This all sounds pretty heavy, I know, but Fuller was ultimately an optimist. He believed we had the tools and the intelligence to create a world that works for everyone. So, what can you and I actually do? Here are a few actionable takeaways. First, educate yourself. Don't just take my word for it, or Fuller's. Start paying attention to how global systems work. When you hear about a corporate merger, a trade agreement, or a new technology, ask yourself, who benefits from this? Follow the money. Read from diverse sources. The more you understand the invisible architecture of our world, the less it can control you. Second, support the alternative. Wherever you can, put your money and energy into systems that align with a healthier future. This could mean buying from local businesses instead of massive chains, switching to a credit union from a megabank, or investing in companies that are genuinely committed to sustainability. Every choice you make is a vote for the kind of world you want to live in. It might feel small, but collectively, these choices create massive change. Third, and most importantly in Fuller's eyes, is to find your unique contribution. What are you passionate about? What problem in the world breaks your heart? Use your unique skills, your creativity, your voice, to work on that. Whether you're an artist, an engineer, a teacher, or a parent, you have a role to play. Fuller called this living as a trim tab. A trim tab is the tiny rudder on a giant ship's main rudder. It's a small part, but by turning the trim tab, you can turn the big rudder, and eventually, the entire ship. You are a trim tab. Start a project, share an idea, have a difficult conversation. Be the small force that creates a big change. So, let's wrap this up. Grunch of Giants is a wake-up call. Buckminster Fuller shows us a world run by massive, invisible corporate giants in a constant, gross universal cash heist. But he doesn't leave us in despair. He gives us the keys to a better future, leveraging technology for the good of all, and embracing the power of the committed individual. The main message is this: the systems that run our world are human-made, and they can be unmade or remade by us. We are not powerless. We are the trim tabs. I really hope this exploration of Fuller's work has sparked something in you. It's a challenging book, but its message is one of profound empowerment. I highly encourage you to pick up Grunch of Giants and read it for yourself. Thanks so much for watching today. If you found this valuable, please hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into world-changing ideas. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. What did you think of Fuller's ideas? Until next time, stay curious and keep thinking for yourself.